Squint, when I was down there in Hollywood, I tried really hard to get legitimate work, but there was so much lying and not following through. And meantime, Jessie was writing me all these accusing letters about, how much she needed me and missed me, and Jody wrote nicer things, but, he said it was very tough without me, that Curtis was giving him such a hard time, and Curtis always did sign in more with Jessie. And I was so pressured, I didn't have time to do it the way I wanted to. That's how come I got mixed up with living with that agent. And
I should talk to him about them child support payments. That ain't right for him to withhold them on purpose.
Well, that's what he's doing. He's been so mean and contemptible, and you know how he's been down at the station. He won't even speak to me. He turns his back and walks out. As soon as I walk in the room, it's a terrible feeling.
Yeah. I'll talk to him.
Thank you, Squint.
Next day at the station.
That's right, Curtis. I think that's bloody shabby of you to purposely hold back when them kids are needing stuff.
Oh, you do you? Well, I'm going to pay the child support, even though they're not my children. I legally adopted them, and I'll see my responsibility through. But all in my own good time. I have been rather busy myself. No one seemed to care about how I felt about all this. Look at this as it is. Here I am, a perfectly decent man, doing the right thing. What does she do? She goes off down there, dropping everything that amounted to any good just to chase a silly dream of making a career in Hollywood. And then, if that weren't bad enough, putting her sister Ruth Ann and me through all the mechanics of taking care of the children in the house, then she goes and starts living with that agent. Now, am I supposed to shake her hand and pat her on the back when she comes back from all that? I hardly think so.
Well, I didn't expect you to do that, but you gotta look beyond at how it's affecting the kids. They're real nice kids. I always liked Jessie and Jody. I got you growling in my stomach again.
You're always hungry. Well, as I said, I'll take care of it in my own good time, but I've picked up the pieces of my life and patched my ego back together as well as I could, and I've been having a rather nice time dating Pamela Sterling.
Pamela Sterling? Yes, she's nice. I used to go with her.
Yes, I know you did. Did you know that her name was Rutherford before? The Rutherfords don't have a tremendous amount of money, but they do. They are well-to-do, and they have a good name. She's a lady, more than I can say for some people.
Her. Pamela Sterling. It's been a long time ago that I went out with her. She loves that big band music. We had a pretty good time.
I think you've dated just about everyone in this town. Probably been to bed with everybody in this town, too.
Here. Well, I never kiss and tell.
Well, the thing of it is, Squint, if you're so concerned about Kelly Jean and her affairs, I wish you would go ahead and legally adopt them yourself, because I would really like to marry Pamela. But she has an only daughter, Vonette. The child is dreadfully spoiled, but at least it's only one child. And Pamela has had a hysterectomy, and I've had a vasectomy, so we won't have to worry about any more production there. We've talked about it, and we'd like to send Vonette over to London for a fine education when she finishes high school. She's 17 now, and that won't be too long. So that one will be out on her own, and then it'll just be Pamela and me.
Well, they're very convenient. I should support Jessie and Jody, along with me own kids, that I didn't let Brett legally adopt. And already I owe too much money as it is. And Brett's coasting by like a free ride.
Well, he did get a nice little feathered nest there living in your home, and you're supporting your children. He offered to legally adopt them, though, didn't he? You refused.
Yeah, I refused. But I didn't know that her. But you should pay money now for these kids who legally adopted them.
Well, I tell you the truth, Pamela resents it very much.
Now, wait a minute. Pamela is the widow of Cedric Sterling. Now, the Sterlings had money. And I remember she said Cedric died when the little girl, Vonette, was 9. And they've been living back with Pamela's father, the Rutherford family. All this time she's been a widow quite a while. Rutherford. They used to call her old man Rod.
Yes, that's true. Well, Cedric had money for a while, but they spent it like it was going out of style. And, you know, Pamela loves to live quite high on the hog. And after he died, she bought all kinds of things for herself and Vonette, and then they went back to live with the Rutherfords. Still, the Rutherfords don't have the kind of money Pamela wants.
Pamela's very stingy.
Yes, she is. She's quite tight with it when it's outside the family. She really doesn't think much of Jessie and Jody. She thinks they're little street urchins.
Well, they're not. They're very fine kids. I resent that.
Well, I think they're fine, but Jody was getting impossible. They never did take to me very well. I did the best I could with them. They had a built-in resentment.
Why does Pamela think they're street urchins?
Pamela thinks any child that's not hers is a street urchin. The only child that amounts to anything in her eyes is Vonette, her own child. Some people are like that, you know.
Some people stink, too.
I thought you liked Pamela.
Not anymore.